welcome to The Explainer. You ever have one of those light bulb moments? A brilliant business idea pops into your head, but then you think, okay, now what? Well, today we're going to map out that entire entrepreneurial journey. We're talking from that first little spark of an idea all the way to making a real, tangible impact.
All right, to get things started, let me tell you a quick story about two sellers. First, you've got Afia. She's an amazing artist, a true craftsperson, and she makes these absolutely gorgeous shoes. I mean, works of art. The only catch? They hurt. A lot. Then you have Kwaku. He sells, simple slippers. Nothing fancy. But they fit like a glove, and his customers just love them. So, who do you think is actually the more successful entrepreneur? Yeah, it's Kwaku. And it's not a trick question. The answer gets to the absolute heart of what we're talking about today. See, Afia fell in love with her beautiful shoes. Kwaku, on the other hand, understood what his customers actually needed. He solved their problem. And that is the single biggest secret to success. So how do you avoid making shoes that hurt? How do you make sure you're a Kwaku and not an Afia? Well, what every entrepreneur needs is a guide, something like a compass that always points you in the right direction, towards what your customer really wants. And that compass has a name. It's called design thinking. But what is it really? Think of it this way. It's a process for solving problems that flips the usual script. Instead of building something cool and then trying to find people who might want to buy it, design thinking makes you start with the people. It forces you to deeply understand them first, ensuring you're building something they actually want and need. Now, this might sound kind of abstract, but it's not. It actually breaks down into a really clear 5-step process that anyone can follow. It's the core of how you go from just guessing what people want to truly knowing. It all starts with empathy, just watching, listening, and really understanding your users. From there, you define what their actual problem is. Not what you think it is, but what their reality is. Then you ideate. You brainstorm a ton of wild ideas. You build a quick and dirty prototype of the best one, and finally, you test it with real people. And this isn't a one-and-done thing. It's a loop. You learn, you refine, you test again. Okay, so all of those steps are super important, but they're all held together by one single, powerful mindset. Seriously, if you remember one thing from this explainer, make it this. This is it. This is the whole game. If you fall in love with your solution, your beautiful, painful shoes like Afia did, you'll defend it to the death even when it's clearly not working. But if you fall in love with the problem, like people need footwear that's comfortable and stylish, then you're free to find the absolute best solution, even if it means throwing out your first 10 ideas. So, let's say you've done it. You've used your compass, design thinking. You found a real problem that people are desperate to have solved, and you are totally in love with that problem. Fantastic! But now what? Well, a compass tells you which direction to go, but it doesn't show you the terrain. For that, you need a map to turn your idea into an actual business. And believe it or not, you can get a map of your entire business onto a single piece of paper. The tool that lets you do this is called the Business Model Canvas, and it is an absolute game changer. Its whole purpose is to let you see all the different moving parts of your business in one go. It's like seeing the whole machine at once, so you can understand how one part affects another. How your customers connect to your costs and how your product connects to how you make money. It looks complicated, but it's pretty simple. It's made of 9 blocks. Everything on the right side is about your customer. Who are they? What value are you giving them? How are you going to reach them and make money? And everything on the left is about you, the business. What do you need to do? What resources and partners do you need? And what's it all going to cost? It forces you to connect every single dot. So let's bring this all home. The real magic happens when you use these two tools together. You use your compass, design thinking, to find the right destination, and then you use your map, the business model canvas, to plan the journey. Let's go back to Afia for a second. Imagine if Afia had started with a compass. She would have talked to her customers and realized, wow, they love how my shoes look, but they desperately need them to be comfortable. That's the real problem to fall in love with. Then she could have pulled out her map, the canvas, and designed a whole business around that new value proposition. Beautiful shoes you can actually wear all day. Everything would have clicked into place. So here's the biggest takeaway. Your great entrepreneurial journey, it doesn't start with a solution you cooked up in your head. It starts with finding a problem, a real problem for real people that you become obsessed with solving. So the only real question left to ask is, what problem will you fall in love with?